Yo, what's going on everyone? Gabe Ocarina 96 here, and as I said on last week's video, there's no cover this week because by the time you're watching this video, I'm currently on vacation away, and yeah, so I thought I would still do a little Q&A because it takes less work to do, and not so long ago I passed 5,000 subscribers, so I thought why not like put both coincidence together and make a little video out of it. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So the first question is from Victor the Guitar Nerd, and he asks, favorite guitar? What strings and picks do you use? Favorite game that's not made by Rare? And he said it can't be ukulele. So oh boy, my favorite guitar, it depends. So for like playing and like leads and fast stuff, I would have to go with one of my two Ibanez, probably the red one for some reason. I just think it plays a little bit better, but overall like, I have to go with my Telecaster, man. There's just something with a Telecaster, playing rhythms on that and just that big chunky neck is just so awesome. And for the strings, I use Elixir, I hope it's how you pronounce that, Elixir strings with the coated stuff on it. And for the picks, I actually use Tortex by Dunlop, and it's the H3, those little picks. I really like them, it's very precise. And now for the final question from Victor. Favorite game that's not ukulele or Rare? I'll go with Wind Waker. It's my favorite Zelda game, and I really like it, so I'll go with Wind Waker, I think. Alvaro asked, what was the very first game you ever played? That would be Super Mario World back in 1998 or 99, I believe. And followed very closely right after by Ocarina of Time. Yes, I started playing games very young because I'm born in '96. Sam asks, what are your favorite few video games, VGM songs, and composers? Give at least 3 of each or something. Or something, Sam. Some of my favorite games, Wind Waker, Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time. Those are all Zelda games, hang on. Paper Mario Thousand Years Door, Banjo Kazooie, Banjo Tooie, of course, my 2 favorite games of all time. Conker's Bad Fur Day. Okay, it's more than 3 that. Right now, Breath of the Wild, by the way. I'm a little bit hooked. Favorite video game songs? Like seriously, there's so many. But right now, my favorite video game song of all time has to be the staff roll or credits to Mario 64. I really like One Winged Angel. I feel like that's another one. The staff roll credits from Ocarina of Time. Those are just the ones that come to my mind like right there as favorites. But of course anything Grant Kirkhope made, which I guess kind of answers the next question, composers. Anything Grant Kirkhope makes. Grant is my favorite composer, obviously from my channel, I guess. All the Banjo Kazooie, Banjo Tooie, Perfect Dark, I love all those. But just favorite composers, I would go with Koji Kondo, I guess is an easy choice. Grant Kirkhope, of course, and Danny Elfman, John Williams. Those are movies, but I just thought I'd mention I really like them. Emmy asks, how do you feel knowing you're my favorite Gabe? Not my favorite, just my favorite Gabe. Lol. Ro asks, who are your favorite YouTubers who do not play guitar? Why are you so good at Mario Kart? And what is your next big project? Okay, so just off the top of my head like that, some of my favorite YouTubers that don't play music, I would go with Peanut Butter Gamer, PewDiePie, and Happy Console Gamer. I feel like those 3 are the ones that I'm happier of seeing a new like video in my sub feed, and I have a good time watching them. I would also say Clint Stevens. I know he's more of a Twitch guy, but like he uploads his highlights on YouTube, and I laugh so much watching that. I don't know. Don't ask. But yeah, Clint Steven, definitely. For the Mario Kart part, I don't know why everybody asked that to me. I don't know. I would just say I've been playing Mario Kart since I was a kid, and I've been putting a lot of hours into Mario Kart. So practice, I guess. Practice, just play the game and become better. Best answer. For the bigger project, it's hard to say. I usually like to do at least one bigger video every year, usually filmed outside, but it's getting towards the end of the summer. I'm not too sure what I want to do. I have ideas, but I don't know if I'll have time to do them. You know, one year I did the big rare medley inside, so it doesn't mean if I don't do a big video outside this year or during the summer I won't do something bigger inside. I'm not sure yet. I'll see. I'll have to see. Billy asks, what guitar or bass would you own if money wasn't an issue? I would probably still go with Ibanez, but probably a higher tier one. I would look into the Ibanez S Prestige. I really like them. It's like my red guitar a little bit, but like better quality and a fixed bridge instead of a semi-floating one. Like all of my lead guitars I'm using now all have some sort of a trem system, and like the pink guitar, the pink Ibanez one has a very good one, so it's not an issue. But like the other one, it's kind of low quality-ish, and it doesn't have a locking at all anyway, so like it goes out of tune for no reason, and like it's super hard to keep the trem system set up and all that. So yeah, fixed bridge, S series would be amazing. Duo Review asks, what are your thoughts on the track Talking to Portrait Ghosts from Luigi's Mansion, and will you cover the Madoka Magica opening? The Talking to Portrait Ghosts song is actually very good. Not something I would cover because I think it's a little bit too simplistic, but for an in-game feel, it absolutely captures the overall theme of Luigi's Mansion. I really like that song. And for Madoka Magica, definitely at some point, dude. Definitely at some point. Tetrabit Gaming asks, how do you actually pronounce your name? It's funny you asked that because we actually had a little bit of a debate over my name on Twitter like a few months ago. I pronounce it Gabe in English because it comes from Gabriel, of course. But since I'm French, I say Gab because Gabriel. But say Gabe. If you're English, just say Gabe. Christian asks, what is your favorite Banjo-Kazooie level? Such a hard question, man. Like, it's my favorite game and I like all the levels in it, but for a favorite one I would say Bubble Gloop Swamp or Click Clock Wood. Emmy asks, can you show me your cat? She's precious. So that's Lulu. I showed her on streams multiple times, so you guys know her already, some of you guys. But yeah, I have 3 cats, and this is mine. This is Lulu. She's always somewhere near where I am, and she's so adorable. Anthony asks, what is your favorite type of music to listen to by yourself? I listen to a lot of stuff. Obviously, video games and movie soundtracks, I listen to those all the times. But for like real band music, I listen to anything, I guess, punk rock, metal, symphonic metal, ragtime. I like a lot of stuff. The video game musician asks, if you had the funds to buy any one instrument, what would it be? I got harp or cello. I talked about guitar earlier, so for this time I'll go with an accordion. I know it can be pretty expensive, but it seems like so much fun to play when you actually learned it and stuff. It seems so much fun. Also a clarinet. I like the sound of that. or oboe even. I really like the sound of those, I don't know why. Torborn asks, by the way, I hope I pronounced that correctly, stay on YouTube making great contents, or be with a famous band making great shows and big tours? Easy. YouTube. Been with a few bands in the past, and I've done shows, but like the whole idea of taking my stuff from here, bringing it there, setting up for the show, practicing with a band, making sure everyone does what they're supposed to do, just not my thing. I prefer working by myself for the most part. I can do what I want, like it's my decisions. Every aspect of it is mine. Also, I would consider myself more of a creator than a performer. As much as I like playing on stage, I really like it, but I prefer like being here making my stuff rather than all around the world all the time. So yeah, YouTube. This one is from the VGM Lover. It seems Banjo-Kazooie is a major inspiration for your YouTube career, but are there other games that tend to inspire you a lot? You know, well, I mean, my love for video game music really started as a kid, so I'll go back a little bit. Yes, Banjo-Kazooie, of course, but as a kid I would sing pretty much, or hum pretty much any video game songs I would hear playing my games, and back then it was mostly Zelda and Mario, and I think really to this day those two games, series of games, are really like the reason why I started loving music in the first place, so I will go with them. Nathan of CC Channels asks, any suggestions for people starting out in making covers? I really like that question. Like, I answered it a few times in the past, and I always say the same thing. Really, is be yourself, do some music that you personally enjoy, and don't try to copy anyone else. Just do what you like to do, and that way it's like you will less likely get compared to others if you really sound like yourself, rather than, of course you can like take a few bits from here and there from everyone that you like, you know, that's how everybody creates their own style, but really it has to be something that matches you. But that's just for the creation part. I mean, of course, practicing, practicing the instrument, practicing mixing, it's never gonna be easy when you just start out. Like, I remember mixing back then when I started YouTube. It sounds nothing like what I do now, and like even now I still, you know, become better and better with time. But what I want to say is just that don't expect your first mix or your first few mix to be like top, you know. Just give it time. It takes practice, so don't get discouraged. And yeah, that was a long answer, but I hope it answers the question. From Arc Knight, can you play the banjo? I never tried the banjo. As much as I like Banjo-Kazooie, I never tried an actual banjo. Gabriel asks, what island will you like to visit, or would you like to visit? I'm not very familiar with islands, but I like going on vacation, visiting places. If I would have to say an island, I would really like at some point to go see Hawaii. I never been, and it seems like an awesome place, so I would say Hawaii. This one is from Crisis Music, and he asks, what bands do you listen to regularly? Green Day, my favorite band, listen to it a lot. Other than that, like other bands I really like and listen to, Muse, absolutely love Muse. It's like they change style in every album. You never know what you're gonna get every time they release an album, and I love it. I always love what they come up with. Switching over to the YouTube questions, Shadow2050 asks, how much time it takes for you to make a cover and a video? Usually takes me about like 3 or 4 days. 3 days recording maybe. The way I like to work is basically the first day I do the arrangement, and the drums, so like it gives me an overall idea of like what my song will feel like. And then the second day I learn and record bass and rhythms. Then the other day the leads and MIDI stuff, the piano stuff that it goes in the background. And then the final day, the day after, I usually do the mix and editing. But it's never the same. It really depends on the song. Sometimes it goes faster, I can do more in one day. Sometimes it takes more time. But for the most part, it's about that. My name Ben asks, how long have you been playing guitar? And do you have any tips for beginners that feel like their hands are going to fall off because it hurts a bit to play? It does hurt in the beginning. I've been playing guitar for 7 years. And yeah, the beginning is pretty intense, like learning how to play, plus going through the pain of strings and all that. It does hurt, but just practice more, and like it won't take too much time. That you'll become stronger, and it won't hurt anymore. A question from Kitty actually: of all the covers you've done, which one are you most proud of and why? Right now, I would say between my final beating from Ukulele and my setting the trap from Home Alone. I feel like those two are the covers that took more work from me, and also that Home Alone one. Man, I just had so much fun working on it, like with the reacting of the movie and all that. I just had so much fun with it, and I'm really glad with how it turned out, so I would go with that. Super Gemma or Super Gemma asks, what inspired you to do Nintendo covers? Well, video game covers in general, I guess. Well, just like pretty much all of us doing covers. I was already playing guitar, enjoying playing guitar. I liked video games, but like one day I was on YouTube just looking through music and stuff, and I stumbled upon CS Guitar 89, and then Family Jewel 7X back then, and Jam 2995, and yeah, it just kind of blew my mind how people could take a video game song and make it like on the guitar. So that it sounds awesome. So I thought of giving it a shot, and that's what I'm doing, I guess. This one is from Dan Tazim, and he asks, have you ever covered a game song that has made you want to play the game? It happened a few times, but for the most part, I like to record stuff that has like a special meaning to me from a game I played or something. But it did happen. Happened for the first time, I believe, with Undertale, my Bone Trussell cover. I had not played Undertale back then at that point, but right after that I played the game. Really enjoyed it. Ro has another interesting question and asks, besides more rare music, if you could make a video game album, what songs/games would be on it? That's a very good question actually. If we don't count rare, I would like at some point maybe to take my ukulele covers and make an album out of it. But of course, licensing music for an album and getting somebody to like make an artwork for it isn't free. So that's why right now on Patreon I have like the shameless plug, by the way, I have like that as a stretch goal thing to make more albums once I reach a certain amount to help me pay for the fees. But anyways, back to the question. I think Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald would actually make a very good and fun album to make. I really like that soundtrack, so maybe that. And also Zelda music, would really like to make an album out of that. Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, I don't know which one. I'm just thinking out loud, obviously, but those are very interesting choices, I believe. So guys, I think that wraps up today's video. I think I went through all the questions. I did skip a few because they were too close from other questions that I already answered. Make sure to follow me on Twitter because that's where I made the announcement that I wanted questions for this Q&A, because I don't always upload a video to YouTube saying, hey, I'm gonna do a Q&A or something like that. So make sure to follow me on there for future videos, I guess. Thanks for all the questions, and thank you guys so much for 5,000 subscribers. It's actually insane. I'm super grateful for all the support you guys are bringing me on everywhere. YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Patreon, all of you guys, thank you so much. And I will see you next week with a ukulele cover. I'm going back there. Later.